What if belonging was the real prison? What if the moment you say, "I am this, I follow that, I believe in them," you're no longer free? Jiddu Krishnamurti didn't want followers. Not students, not admirers, not people quoting him. He saw them as masks, people who repeated his words but missed the point. He suggests that our desire to belong, to be part of a group, a nation, a religion, or even a relationship can lead to dependency, conformity, and ultimately, a loss of individual freedom and self-awareness. Because truth, he said, is not something you inherit. It's not a tradition. It's not a belief system. Truth is a pathless land. And freedom begins when you dare to walk alone. Our desire to belong can create dependency on others for validation, security, and happiness. This dependency, whether on individuals, ideologies, or institutions, limits our freedom and prevents us from experiencing true self-reliance and inner peace. We're taught from childhood to fit in, to belong to a family, a culture, a religion, a political side. But Krishnamurti warned us. When you follow someone, you cease to follow truth. Even if the person you follow is wise, you are still imitating. And imitation, he said, is a form of fear. We define ourselves by what we belong to: nationality, class, race, gender, ideology, spiritual labels. Belonging can offer a false sense of security, a feeling of being protected and accepted. However, Krishnamurti points out that this security is fragile and ultimately illusory, as it is based on external factors rather than an inner sense of wholeness and self-understanding. But identity can become a cage, a way to avoid the frightening question: who am I without all this? Krishnamurti said, to find out what you are, you must reject what you are not. Freedom doesn't mean rejecting everything. It means seeing things as they are, without filters, opinions, or borrowed beliefs. Krishnamurti emphasizes the importance of individual freedom, not as a rejection of society, but as a liberation from psychological conditioning and the limitations imposed by attachment and conformity. He often spoke of aloneness, not loneliness. Krishnamurti distinguishes between loneliness and aloneness, arguing that loneliness is a painful state of isolation stemming from self-centeredness and the fear of being alone, while aloneness is a state of being without the influence of society, which can be a positive and enriching experience. You must be alone to find the real. Not lonely, but alone in the deep sense of the word. Loneliness is a feeling of emptiness, isolation, and disconnection, often accompanied by fear and a sense of lack. Aloneness, in contrast, is a state of being completely free from the influence of society, tradition, and the conditioning of the mind. In essence, Krishnamurti suggests that loneliness is a psychological trap, while aloneness is a state of liberation. He encourages individuals to examine their loneliness, understand its root causes, and move towards the state of aloneness, which is a place of true freedom and understanding. In that stillness, something else awakens. Not an idea, not a doctrine, but pure perception, a seeing without fear, without distortion, without effort. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. So why try to fit in? Why strive to be accepted by a system that feeds conflict, greed, comparison? To be free is to step out, not with anger, but with awareness. He encourages individuals to break free from these attachments and embrace a state of aloneness, not as isolation, but as a space for self-discovery and freedom from sorrow. This aloneness, according to Krishnamurti, is not something to be cultivated, but rather a natural state that arises when one sees through the illusions of belonging. Krishnamurti didn't create a method. He didn't offer steps, tricks, or disciplines. He said, "You are the teacher and the student, the question and the answer." If you listen carefully, you don't need someone to tell you what's true. Truth is not outside you. It's in the act of seeing, now. You don't need to follow anyone, not Krishnamurti, not anyone. You only need to observe. Your thoughts, your fears, your desires, your conditioning. And when you truly observe without judging, without comparing, something extraordinary happens. The observer is the observed. And in that moment, division ends. There is no me and you, no authority, no follower. Just awareness, and in that there is deep, quiet freedom. Thank you for being here. If this reflection stirred something in you, feel free to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Until next time, stay awake, stay free, and keep walking the pathless path.